I would expect maybe there's another 10x growth on Kaspa. That's why for me, I wanted to jump in the minute that the KRC20 protocol was activated to snatch some of the early meme coin on Kaspa. And right now at this price, it's at the $12 million market cap, fully diluted. So I'm up 9,000% now. So my $100 is now worth about $9,000.
The market seems to be bouncing back after the 50 basis point rate cut. And so where are the next opportunities? That's what I'm looking for. That's why Patrick, also known as Crypto Rookies, is here to tell us. One area that we're looking at is Kaspa. So we're going to talk about why Kaspa could be a very good opportunity moving forward. We're going to talk about their KRC20 development. Plus, stick around to the end because Patrick is going to tell us about a coin that he literally minted 4 days ago that is up 80x. Not financial advice, but clearly there's some opportunities here on Kaspa. How you doing, Patrick?
I'm great. It's a good time when you see the market pumping, and then I got lucky on that Kaspa meme coin, so definitely a good
It
time
is a
to.
little bit of luck, and obviously we can't always replicate these types of gains. But there seems to be some traction now with the new development happening on Kaspa. Can you tell us a little bit about Kaspa and why are people so excited about this KRC20?
Kaspa, of any project that has challenged Bitcoin in terms of proof of work, I think Kaspa is the one that did the best so far. So it's a proof of work chain, but as it's much faster than Bitcoin itself as a network because it's a directed acyclic graph. So that means that the blocks can be minted in parallel, basically. So that makes the transaction to be much faster. And then they added smart contract capability, and they failed their first launch like several months ago. But I had prepared for it to deploy some capital into some early project. And then just think 4 days ago, they finally launched the KRC20, which is basically the smart contract capability. And this time it worked. So the fees, transaction fee, were pretty much through the roof, but I still managed to get some to mint some meme coins there. But I think the entire chain is embryonic. There right now, there's no decentralized exchange, like there's no launchpad. All of that stuff, we're very much at the beginning. If you look in the past year, there's very few crypto that outperformed Bitcoin, but Kaspa is one of them. And saying if you see since their launch in like 2022, so this means they're new of this cycle. They've never been through a bear market, so there's not that many people who are underwater, which it's something we mentioned in the past. So they have a market cap of $4.3 billion, and their market cap in circulation versus the fully diluted value is basically based on the same minting process as Bitcoin. So there's a halving process every 4 years that miners go through in order to mine Kaspa. So that's why it went really well. It's faster. They are smart contract capability. A lot of people think this could take over Bitcoin maybe at some point. It's up 100,000% in the last 2 years for the people who got involved.
Hold on one second, Patrick. So you said take over Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin is a store of value, right? It's.
Yes.
I just don't see how Kaspa could be considered a store of value here.
It should not be a competitor that much to Bitcoin. It's just everything that they created in terms of the economic is a carbon copy of Bitcoin. And I think they kind of meant it that way, but they wanted to make sure that they have smart contract capability on top. And I think right now there's a lot of projects that are trying to add smart contract to Bitcoin.
What kind of projects with this KRC20 based on the technology and how it is very similar to Bitcoin in some ways, but it has the smart contract capabilities? What kind of applications can we expect?
Yeah, like anything you see, for example, on Solana, another type of chain. I forgot if the speed of Kaspa is on par with Solana. I think it's not, but it's definitely vastly superior than a lot of other chains because of
So is it more
DAG.
decentralized essentially? Is that their value proposition?
I would say so, yeah. That depend on the miners. Like if too many miners become centralized, then it may not be more decentralized than Solana, but yeah, that's up to be seen on that part. Like if you look on the market over the last year, I think meme coin, like of this that are new of this cycle, outperformed Bitcoin quite a lot over the past year. But Kaspa is one of them that is real technology that actually performed on par. Like it's up 53% compared to Bitcoin over the past year. And I think if you look at a chart of Kaspa over Bitcoin, this is over on that exchange. It's 400. That's a little bit more than 1 year, but it's up 100% for a little bit more than a year, like 400 days. But you see that the trajectory is upward and the trend is not finished. So right now there was a long period of accumulation over this period of time. It's been on for like almost a year, like 300 days. But if we start to break this and we go up, I think there's a lot of room to still grow for Kaspa. This is what I'm thinking, is that I would expect maybe there's another 10x growth on Kaspa. And maybe Bitcoin could do another 3 or 4x from this point. But what is important here is that if you look at like meme coins on a new chain like that, like it's not just meme coin, but it's just that meme coin this cycle I've outperformed almost everything else. There's AI and deepen and real world asset as well, and DeFi is making a comeback. But I think it's really hard to find a narrative that outperform Bitcoin basically. So and I think meme coin is one of them. That's why for me I wanted to jump in the minute that the KRC20 protocol was activated to snatch some of the early meme coin on Kaspa. And right now there's 3 that are in the lead. And typically speaking, when you have a meme coin that is in the lead on a base chain, it tends to remain very strong for the cycle, except in some cases here and there. But it's much easier to not bank on very early meme coin necessarily, but bank on the one that is a bit more mature and the biggest based on the chain. If you bank right now on the meme coin of Kaspa, they are just 4 days old. So there's a lot of room to grow still.
So you're saying that you could potentially get your WIF, or you can get your Brett, or you can get your Pepe, so to speak, but this would be happening on a new chain with new development that's happening.
Exactly. Plus, the learning curve is complicated. So compared to the traditional way of doing things, I mean, so that means that it limits the ability for people to really ape in as much. And that means that once it starts getting listed on centralized exchange and the decentralized exchange and the entire ecosystem start to mature, it will become a lot easier. So that means that you're very, very early to get in there. And if Kaspa itself has maybe a X left of potential growth, that means the meme coin that are just 4 days old right now, in some case may have a lot more left. And I can go through the calculation that I've done.
Let's take a look at those calculations, because it's one thing to talk about the potential, right? People are always throwing out different numbers, but to actually come to a reasonable understanding how you came to those numbers would be very good. So first of all, let's start with what's this meme coin that you minted?
Yeah, it's called Kasper. So it's a play on the word Kaspa. And there's Halloween coming up in just about a month. So I think we may get some extra boost from that. It's a good timing. So it got 100% of the supply was minted. And it's not like you could buy, like it was done in a fair launch. It was a bit of a struggle, but I was able to snatch, like a few million token, like with just $100. I just put, and the transaction fee was pretty high. But in the last 4 days, I'm up. I was up 6,000% like 5 hours ago. But now I'll let me refresh the chart, because right now it's being traded OTC with a bot. The OTC trading started at this point, and right now at this price, it's at the $12 million market cap, fully diluted. So I'm up about 9,000% now. So my $100 is now worth about $9,000 in 4 days.
obviously with this particular token, you're up substantial amount. Where are you coming up with the numbers? I see you have a tweet here where you're talking about percentages. Talk to me about the potential of Kasper on top of Kaspa.
Yeah, so that methodology can be applied to any meme coin on any chain. What you want to compare like the fully diluted value of the base chain, like whether it's Solana, Ethereum, Ton, Kaspa, or whichever like Tron or whatever, and then you compare the probably the I would say pick the top meme coins on that chain that are new of this cycle. Forget about the old one, and then make a ratio like a 1.7 billion for WIF compared to 81 billion of Solana in terms of fully diluted value. That's a 2%. And then saying if you look at a bunch of them, you see that they all kind of range about between 1 and 3% in terms of fully diluted market cap versus the native chain itself. So that's what I did basically. Kaspa has a $4 billion fully diluted market cap. And then Kasper right now has only a fully diluted market cap of 10 million. So that means that we have a lot of room to grow because I think this could multiply by 10 just because it's a 4 days old and Kaspa has been around for 2 years now. So I think there's a catch-up play on Kasper versus Kaspa. But on top of that, over the next 12 months with the bull run, I would expect Kaspa to do maybe another 10x, as I said before. So that means that it's a 10x time a 10x, which make it 100x from this point. That's the big question is whether or not Kasper will be one like the top or in the top three. Right now it's in the top three, but there's also Nacho that has a bigger market cap and is growing faster right now. So let's see what happens. But I think I have a good hope for Kasper.
If I want to pay attention now to Kaspa and I want to see what kind of development's happening there, and if there's something on there that I'm convinced about, what are my resources here? Where can I look to keep an eye out on the applications that are being built to see if maybe I can also, take advantage of the potential?
Yeah, so look into the wallets because you need like a wallet that is designed for Kaspa. I'm using KasWare, but there's a few others. Meanwhile, look at decentralized exchange. Look at peer-to-peer lending. The stuff that do really well on other chains will need the entire ecosystem need to exist on Kaspa to support it. So all of those are opportunity. For me, I went with the meme coin simply because, as I said earlier, this cycle meme coins really outperform, and they are kind of a leverage play on the native chain itself. So that's why I went with this, and I didn't really care that much about the utility. But if you're planning to invest for more than one cycle, then investing in the decentralized exchange, the liquid staking, the peer-to-peer lending, and all kinds of stuff like that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, anytime you're dealing with meme coins, always be under the impression that you're just in a casino having a little bit of fun. So never play with any money that you don't want to lose. Absolutely. So, and again, none of this is financial advice. We're just showing the opportunities where they may lie moving forward here as the overall market continues to grow. So,
Yeah.
assuming it continues to grow. So you mentioned that it was very difficult for you to get access to Kasper. What kind of hurdles did you have to jump in order to acquire it?
Yeah, so I had to use the Kasper wallet. They have a minting functionality. You had to do it on the wallet itself. They had the functionality to mint the token. But I think that there's not a whole lot of explanation too much anywhere and all that stuff. Feel free to reach out to me on my Telegram and all that stuff, and I can maybe help. But if there's a demand, maybe post a comment in this video, and maybe we can record a new video to go through a step by step how to get started. But yeah, I think for this video, I think what was important is to discuss that this is prime for opportunity right now, and it may not last too long as the ecosystem mature, people will be flooded there. I think quite a lot.